Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's CITI program webinar. Today's topic is Accreditation 101 for Adjunct and New Faculty. It is presented by John Osborne, the Dean of Students for the Everglades University online campus, who I will introduce shortly. My name is Sarah Chenworth, and I'm an Assistant Director of Content and Education at the CITI program. I will be serving as the moderator for today's webinar. Now let me tell you about today's presenter, John Osborne. John has more than 20 years of professional experience in higher education with an emphasis on student leadership, retention, student success, academic management, compliance, executive education, new business, faculty partnerships, team building, educational programming, operations, advising, facilities, and security. And now, let me pass the mic to you, John.
Thank you, Sarah. It is truly my pleasure to come on board with you and everyone today. I, John Osborne, have no relevant personal, professional, financial relationships with respect to this educational activity. Leading academic officers need reassurance that their employees are well versed in accreditation. Even prior to the 2020 pandemic, many institutions have become more lean. Fewer employees means more tasks for a smaller workforce, and this surely includes academic leadership. Many academic leaders likely would be relieved and reassured knowing that an online webinar such as this one adds training aimed at adjunct and new faculty. This should bring the workforce more up and running with regard to an introduction to accreditation. This not only makes the adjunct and new faculty more savvy, it also assists with important professional development and reduces the training on behalf of academic leadership, both in advance and once an accreditation visit is nearing. This webinar focuses on the 3 learning objectives as seen on the screen. 1. Identify the purpose, importance, and benefits of accreditation. 2. Review the different types of accrediting bodies. And 3. Explain the roles and responsibilities of faculty members in accreditation at their institutions. This slide shows the outline or major topics we will cover in today's webinar. Overview of accreditation, different types of accrediting bodies, those responsible at your institution, accrediting bodies and the Department of Education, faculty role in accreditation, and frequency of accreditation. The American academic space continues to go through extraordinary change. What is not changing, however, is the need for higher education institutions to be held to a standard, to be verified, if you will. Once an incoming student officially enrolls, a promise has been made from the institution to the student. That is not to say the student does not have responsibilities. Clearly, the student does. However, it is the accrediting bodies who ensure that the colleges and universities live up to their end of the bargain. An institution is accredited when the educational community has verified that its goals are achieved through self-regulation and peer review. Much of the general public has at least the basic understanding of a college, quote unquote, being the faculty role in accreditation. I know plenty of faculty and staff that view accreditation as a pesky, bureaucratic hoop through which we all must jump. I too have held similar feelings at one time or another. But obviously accreditation is crucial. As for faculty, in almost all cases, faculty are doing their part in maintaining their institution's accreditation, whether they realize it or not. Remember that when a student enrolls at your institution, the institution is contractually committed to that student's education. That's the enrollment agreement. Faculty who are at their best in their field, in the classroom, and administratively will be in a strong place. Faculty also must have earned and must show, though this likely happened at the time you were hired, official academic credentials, such as an appropriate degree, or a well-constructed documented argument showing comparable professional experience. In some cases, faculty may serve on committees that support the accreditation process. Understanding this process. Since you are participating in this module, that likely means your current institution is already accredited. At one time in the past, however, your institution would have submitted an initial application to become a regionally or nationally accredited institution. Usually, the institution must first meet eligibility requirements and then move on to a candidacy stage. To move from those initial stages to achieving official accreditation can take a couple to a few years. To maintain its accreditation, the institution needs to be doing its job and doing so round the clock. While the accrediting body's process is cyclical, the institution does not have that luxury and is expected to be living and breathing the accrediting body's standards and/or principles at all times. Assuming your institution is already accredited, then know that academic management is well aware and planning for its next reaffirmation. Reaffirmation is the time and the process for renewing or affirming the institution's current standing with the accrediting body. There is much to be done for the reaffirmation process to go smoothly. This includes extraordinary and organized documentation which is submitted in advance. It includes supporting the questions and assignments. How often is an institution accredited? Once an institution earns its accreditation, it usually stays in place with the proper institutional efforts, of course. That said, the Department of Education requires accrediting agencies to monitor their institutions. You may see a decennial report requirement, but sometimes with a 5-year interim report. Also, the accrediting bodies have a substantive change process. Substantive change usually applies to big ticket items. This can include change in legal status or ownership, adding a program that deviates from the institution's normal, if you will, enrolling students overseas, adding a branch campus, or closing a program, just to name a few examples. Accreditation can be lost, but there's usually a few prior steps where the accrediting bodies would issue findings or place the institution on probationary status. Okay, to summarize, simply put, accreditation is the quality control process via our academic peers and the recognized accrediting bodies that ensures colleges are meeting the standards to which they've committed. Faculty play an important role by being at their best in teaching, having expertise in their fields, and in their institutional administrative duties. During a visit, faculty may be asked about their duties, student learning outcomes, and why they are qualified to teach.
Thank you, John. We now have some time for a few questions about the content. The first one is, will accreditors look at my course syllabus?
They may, Sarah. Faculty may get asked in a casual conversation. Also, accreditors may review syllabi in one of their formal meetings while on campus. However, this should not prove worrisome to faculty, as your institution likely will have some templates and new or adjunct faculty will have support on what is included on your syllabus. Some examples include learning objectives, grading policy, academic integrity, and course content.
And to all of our learners, thank you for attending this presentation. We invite you to review our content offerings regularly as we are continually adding new courses that may be of interest to you. All of our content is available to you anytime through organizational or individual subscriptions. Please visit the CITI program's website to learn more.